when somebody comes over a fence and goes into someone's house and burns their infant in its crib, I don't give a damn why they did it. It's wrong.
What we do is we fight for all lives. That's what the pro-life movement is actually about. It is a civil right. We have to defend all life. All life is protected from the moment of conception. That happens when a sperm and an egg meet. There's a little spark of life that happens.
Okay, can I respond? You can. Yes. We have to take a break, and then I'll let Ben respond, and then I have a question for Lila.
Like to follow.
No one here is pro-death, and no one here is pro-abortion. The difference is pro-choice and pro-life. Lila, you say some things in the predicate of your positions that life begins at fertilization, and science is very clear about that. And you have to know science isn't, there's no consensus among the scientific community.
There is, Dr. Phil.
No, actually, there's not.
Say that life begins at fertilization. If you're an in vitro specialist, you're looking to create a single-cell embryo, then you know you have a human life. So it is a scientific fact.
Well, actually, it's not.
When do you say human life begins then?
Well, it doesn't matter what I think. I don't care what I think. What I'm saying is the scientific community does not have a consensus about when life begins.
It's simply inaccurate. It's simply inaccurate.
That's not true. You can go to the body.
A single-cell embryo is a unique new human life.
You can go to the body of scientific literature, and you can find neuroscientists who say that it begins when there is a detectable brainwave.
But Dr. Phil, even abortion, if it's not a human life, why do you have to kill it?
I haven't spoken over you, and you keep speaking over me, and I assume that's because you don't want me to finish my thought, which is, if anyone here wants to fact check me instead of speak over me, you can go to the scientific literature and query what the definition is of the beginning of life, and you will find that there are different definitions, and it's up to you to decide what you think, but there is not a consensus among the scientific community, and it has actually evolved across time. Before we had sonograms, there was a black box what was going on in there. Then when we got to the point we had sonograms and we could say, oh, you can detect a heartbeat, okay, now, up until then, it was referred to as quickening, when you could feel the kick. That was the beginning of life, and then we got better technology, and then it started to change. But you say it's at fertilization, but at fertilization there actually hasn't been implantation, and then once there's implantation, then this is a process, and it's all I'm saying is there's not a consensus, and you're saying there is, and that's factually inaccurate.
We can agree to disagree, but I will say, when I was
but the literature doesn't disagree.
Well, we should look it up. It's 96% of scientists have agreed in my survey. But regardless of that point, I think the question is, we know deep down when you're pregnant, there's a new human life. That's why it's so devastating for Nancy. Our miscarriage was so devastating. We all know that deep down. These are human beings. That's why it's so contentious. And listen, do we acknowledge that all humans have human rights? Because I think what your question is about.
I agree with a lot of your points. I'm just saying it comes down to when that life begins.
But I don't think Nancy or other